Hello, this is Al Fix It with another video for you on fixing things around the house. So I'm trying out my new camera, but I'll put a link down below if you're interested. I have a pedestal sink. Now let me show you. What I'm doing is checking for leaks, but here's where I'm finding a problem right down here. From underneath, that one drip can cause all sorts of problems. So what we have is a pedestal sink, and I'm going to just start fixing and replacing until there's no more signs of leaks. Stay tuned and I'll show you how to do it. But I see this spot on the floor, and I'm checking here, and yeah, look at there, there's a drip. Now that could be this drain, or it could be coming from this valve up here. Either one is going to get fixed here one way or another. So I'm going to start with a drain because there's a crusty stuff around there. We'll see what happens. Now, yep, I just saw a drip. Look at that, it's dripping. Okay, I just saw drips coming down. Yeah, the drain is leaking for sure. Yeah, it's gonna leak some water there, so be sure you have some sort of a little bucket or something and a towel or something to catch some water. Okay, I got me an old towel here, a rag towel thing, and gonna stick it underneath here to catch some of the water that I'm gonna make a mess. And we're going to take this drain off. So far everything seems kind of loose, so I think that might be part of the problem, but yeah. Okay, as you can see, even though this setup was in pretty good shape compared to a lot of them I've come across, but still there's a crusty stuff all over in there and everything, so I just went and got a new setup. It was only like $5 at Lowe's, so it's just kind of nice, and there's a little diagram, tell you what to do and everything, so that's really cool. By the way, if anybody wants to stick around a little longer to the end of this, I may even change the faucet and everything on this because I happen to have an extra one laying around. So you just look at how it was and do the new thing. Anyway, I put the gasket thing up here like so. You got to have this nut behind it. So it all goes in there. That goes on there, so yeah. And this new piece goes on here. Yeah, I'm not going to tighten anything until I get it sort of all put together a little bit. Like I say, this piece may need to be shortened up a bit. Certainly looks like it to me. Yeah, that's going to need to be shortened up. Oh, we'll just compare it to this one and we'll whack it off a little bit. Got all the new pieces in place. Tightened everything down a little bit. Mostly just tight as I can get with my fingers. I tightened this one a little bit with one of these channel locks. Handiest tool in the world. Now I'm going to just turn on the water and see what happens. So far dry. Alright. Yeah, not a drip. Nada, nada, nada. Everything dry as dry can be. Let's say we did it. Now, let's look at this junky old faucet here. Yeah, well, I just happen to have an extra little cheapy faucet laying around in my junk, so we'll change that out next. So, in order to change this faucet out, we have to go up underneath. Let's see, can we see up in there? That's but those two hoses got to be disconnected up there, and they are connected to these two faucets. And we're going to find out if faucets work very good or not by turning them off so that we don't make any mess. So far, everything's still dry. I hope this works. Now, while I'm turning this faucet off, I see water coming out here. Because, and that happens sometimes, when they're halfway between on and halfway between off, that can leak. And as long as it will turn off, and when you turn it all the way on, it doesn't leak, then I'm happy with it. I just go with it. So that one's off. Boy, they really put these valves so close to each other. Kinda crazy. I think I have both of them off. Let's check and see. We'll just look up here. Yep, got them both off, and they are off. Good. Well, so far, I managed to do this with these handy dandy pliers, and I'll leave a link in the description below if that might be helpful to you. And I just cracked these loose a little bit, and then see, yeah, and then I can get it with my fingers if you're lucky. All right. And if you're lucky, you don't drop water on your camera. That's what I think I better move the camera. I had a lot of trouble getting these little nuts off the bottom of the faucet. I was trying to do it with these, which I almost always can do it with these, and these are really handy. So, but once in a while, you got to go for the other real tools that can reach up inside. So the way this works is you reach it up into that tight spot to get to, and you hook this on there and give it a twist, and you just twist and twist and twist. And if you need to go the other way, you turn this and you go the other way. So it's kind of a neat little plumber's tool. So I had to resort to finding this in order to get these off. And there it is. There's the old faucet, and this is what was on the bottom here. Okay, so now, anyways, we're going to clean the sink a little bit because underneath of here it's a grimy mess on the sink, so I got to clean that up. And then I have, like I say, I had looking around in my junk. I had a extra. Actually, it's a brand new little cheap faucet, but since I'm dinking around with the sink anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and put this new little faucet on.
I'm gonna go on myself.
Those are going to go on like so. Well, doesn't that look nice? Only one problem. It doesn't work because it leaks. Why would it leak? Some of you probably already know, because some of you are like professional plumbers and stuff and actually know what you're doing. As for me, since I had this thing in storage for who knows how many years in a bag of parts, and so I don't have the rod that goes down through here, and when I turn it on, it leaks down in through there on the underside, drips down on the floor, which may have to do with a gasket that might be missing under here, or well, I'm not really sure. But the moral of the story is, why store some junk just because it looks like it'd be a shame to throw it away, when actually you can buy the whole new faucet, the whole kit with the right gaskets and everything for really cheap. And that's probably what I'm going to have to do anyway. Okay, let's get this thing back off of there. Okay, now the mystery as to why this thing leaks. Because when I poked it onto the sink and I turned it on, and up underneath here is a hole where normally a rod goes down through there for the drain popper, and I don't have that with this. So anyways, why would water be coming out that little hole when I turn the faucets on? It's not because it's missing a gasket or anything here. In fact, what I think, I have a theory now, because I hooked this up off of the sink. I just hooked it direct to the lines and stuck this in a bucket and turned it on, and it worked just fine. So my theory is that when I have it in this position, maybe I didn't have this little screen thing screwed on tight enough, and the water was going burbling up under here, and you see there's a little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little slot right here in the plastic. And I think it was burbling along up in here and going into that little slot, and then riding inside of the, underneath the plastic, and coming out the little hole over here. So that's my latest theory. What's yours? This is a little crazy, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with this thing. It's brand new, and yeah, there's no holes in this deal here. It's all connected. Everything's perfect. And yet when I turn it on, yeah, the water leaks out through here and dribbles on the floor. Okay, so that's my theory. Let's see if I'm correct. I'm going to hook it back. I'm going to put this back in there again, and I'm going to look very carefully as to if the water's burbling up, burbling along. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's kind of running down into this little slot. Okay, sure enough, I solved the mystery, and it was exactly what I finally figured out. This was not screwed on tight enough, so the water was running back down through this little slot and down to the back there. I'll just tighten that up, and it works just fine. I'll fix it here, and I fixed the problem, and I got rid of some crusty old cheap junk, and I put on some newer cheap junk that I don't recommend. But anyways, this is Al Fix It, and I hope this is helpful to you in some way. And like my channel, and you know, subscribe and all that, please. And I'll see you on the next one, okay? Adios. Ciao.